Okay, so we're gonna start in a bit. Let me get myself collected. Okay, ready to go? Hi, Miss Marzura, and to everyone else who's been so kind to listen in. My name is Leanna Farsa, and I am from Taylor's University's Bachelor's of Mass Communication and Broadcasting program. I minor in PR, and one of the subjects I have to take is crisis management. For our final piece, we were asked to talk about a company that has underwent a crisis or is still suffering through a crisis. And I decided to talk about AirAsia and how they're weathering through the COVID-19 crisis here in Malaysia. First, to talk about some facts about the company's background. It was established in 1993, but AirAsia only started operating in 1996. In 2001, they had two aircrafts, but currently, as of 2020, they own a fleet of 362 aircrafts. They've also won Skytrax Award for the best low cost carrier for 11 years straight up until 2019, which was the latest award. Next, we'll move on to some key personnel of AirAsia. Usually, when people think of AirAsia, they think of Tony Fernandez, who is usually the spokesperson for the brand or the face of the brand. I'd also like to mention that behind the scenes, there are a lot of people who are making this happen. As for example, the executive chairman, Dr. Kamaruddin Miranun, Irene Omar, the president of Red Bead Ventures AirAsia, and also Bolingam, someone else who's been seen in the media, who is the president of the airlines AirAsia Group. Next, I'll give you some quick facts, details of the crisis. So the whole thing with the crisis happened during the COVID-19 outbreak in 2020 when the Malaysian government instated the MCO, which is the Movement Control Order. This was to curb the rising numbers of infections in the country. And the MCO meant that travel in and out of the country, as well as interstate travels, were banned. So this caused a great hit to the Malaysian economy, especially for the aviation and tourism industry. Hundreds of flight bookings were cancelled during the halt of operations of international and domestic flights, and AirAsia staff had to be retrenched. No new employment contract signings were held, and they were delayed until further notification. This was quite troubling time for AirAsia as they had mentioned that they didn't want to lose any staff. So I'll tell you what they did in the handling of the crisis. All right, so I split it into two parts. For the operations side, there was a temporary suspension of all flights across AirAsia except for in Indonesia, where it was significantly reduced. The CEO decided to halt all activities quickly and efficiently. Um, there were a lot of cancelled flights, and customers were able to convert their initial flight bookings into credits in their AirAsia Big account in order to redeem other flights in the future after the whole COVID situation in Malaysia and also the world improved. Um, AirAsia, in a bid to in an effort to increase their revenues, off-board revenues, they also started up or rebranded Teleport, which is a logistic cargo and payment platform. And it was one of the first in the world to be introduced. And a lot of the public and also the aviation industry received it very well. Also, for staff, um, as mentioned earlier, AirAsia was going through a hard time, and rather than cutting down their employees, they had discussed and agreed to a pay cut for all salaries. This was quite a major one that was played up in the media as top tier management like the CEO, which is Tony Fernandez, and other members of the board had 100% pay cut, which meant they did not receive the salary at all in the time that AirAsia was affected. Um, and that's for the highest ranking, and the pay cut percentages go down by ranking. So for junior staff, they only received 15% of a pay cut, and this was made to ensure the well-being of the staff and families of the staff of AirAsia, also known as the AirAsia's All Stars. So, my conclusion, I felt that AirAsia handled things very well, and I have three key points to mention to wrap up the whole presentation. I believe that AirAsia was quite responsive and responsible, as they made a very quick decision for the health of the customers and the staff to halt all operations. Of course, it was also due to the government's order, but also, even though they knew it was going to be a difficult time for them, as most of their income are generated through their travels and flights, they still made the decision to not relieve any staff, but instead the retrenchment of the staff salaries. Um, Also, I felt that AirAsia was quite efficient in handling the crisis. They were quite quick in aiding customers involved with the flight cancellations, and also in a bid to try and sell their aviation packages for the future, they created the AirAsia Unlimited Pass, which meant that customers could purchase a package for 399 ringgit, and they would be able to travel anywhere in Malaysia during a certain period of time. And there are a lot of this was um, without the tax and add-ons included, and it was actually received very well by the public. And AirAsia saw that the public wanted to support them, so it was good that AirAsia was able to pull through in this sense. I also felt that AirAsia was quite innovative in the sense that with the need to sustain through the crisis, they thought of ways to generate new avenues of income by investing in off-board business, which was Teleport, their logistic cargo renting and payment platform. It was quite an innovative idea. It's a good way to generate income, which also created new job opportunities and transfers for their staff. Also, AirAsia's restaurant, off-board restaurant, which serves on-flight meals, which is called Santan in Mid Valley, in the Klang Valley. Um, so they were in need of delivery staff, and AirAsia's higher ups encouraged their staff that were struggling or needed to make ends meet or wanted to volunteer to become delivery people for the staff, and some of them actually did. The I believe the president also himself um became a delivery service. Sorry, became the president himself also became a delivery man who delivered some packages, and he did this to encourage other staff to participate as well, as as AirAsia is usually known as a family based, or like a family based company. Um, the company culture, sorry. AirAsia is usually known for their the family based work culture. AirAsia is also known for their family based work culture, in which they call their staff their all stars. So it was nice to see that the company was doing as much as it can, not just for the customers, but also for the staff. And I think that's a very important point to make. So we've reached the end of my presentation. I hope you've enjoyed listening about AirAsia and what they've done to weather through the COVID-19 crisis. So thank you very much for listening. Bye.